running the newest version, 2016.8. I normally run them on this matrix right here. This year I'm going to have 3P10 panels on my second floor in the windows. Stephen Hughes was nice enough to give me these models. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you how to set up your models so that you can start sequencing. We'll start with this model right here. This is all AC channels right here. I think his props are built out of rope lighting. We'll go into the model properties, come in here under faces. And what we'll do is we're going to have to add a face. So I'm just going to call it Monster 1. And there's a way you can select either single node, node ranges, or matrix. Under single node, once you click in there, you can align it to whatever channel numbers you have over here. Hang on a second, let me make this a little bigger. You can, where we were at here, okay. So you can look for like the AI. Steven's only got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different mouth sets for his. So you're going to have to double up on some of these when you create them. So if we want to go with A, I'm going to go ahead and use number 4 as, oops, come on. Number 4 as the A. That's a face outline. Okay, gummit. 4. The E, I'll pick number 5. Etc. I'm just going to go with the straight line on the mouth, which will be 3. Get these all set up. F, E. Let's go with 3 as well. These aren't going to be perfect, but they'll be something.
Hey, Richard, I'm hearing somebody's TV coming through in the background. Anybody else hearing that? Hey, Richard, I'm hearing somebody's TV coming through in the background.
Oh.
Everybody else hearing that?
Yes.
Well, there, that was my fault, guys.
Okay. Hey, Richard, turn your TV up.
It's just Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
I forgot it was even on with all the other noise background. I couldn't hear, and I got my headphones on. Oh, let's just go with that. Yeah, just like that. Open eye, I'm just going to go with that one. And then I will like that. Hit OK, and I'm going to hit save. Don't ask me why, I always do. Now over here, oops, I didn't want that one. I wanted this one here. There's other ways to do these as well. This one here is all set up, and I think this one I didn't set it up neither. So let's add a Monster 2. This one here, I'm going to go to node ranges. And what I'll do is I will just take and put my channel numbers in for the letters of the mouth that I'm going to use. Channel 4, E, we'll put 5, ETC, let's go 4. I'm just doing this so you guys can see what all we got going on here. We'll leave that one open. I'm going to use 2 channels for the eyes open. So I'll put in a 1, 2. And for the closed eyes, I will just use the number 1. Okay. Save again. Now to do the face matrices, I've got pictures set up for them. There's a couple ways. You can use the auto, which is what I wanted to show you here. Add it. Put a timing in there. Bring that down in there. And we can go with the rendered look. And they've actually got it set up in there where you can have, you know, faces put on your tree. If you add a layer to it, you can put a color back behind it. Let's put it green. Take the brightness down. So, I mean, there is a face in here that you can use to play with if you don't have any of your own right now. But to set up the pictures on a matrix, what I'll do is I come in here to faces, and I've already got one. I'm going to add one. And we'll set up Frankenstein tree here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select matrix, and then I'm going to also select scaled. Now under the mouse, when I double click in there, I'm going to have to go find my pictures. And I do believe I put some in Halloween, and there he is. So for the letter A, I'll point that right to the A. ETC, I'll just use the rest. Get these all lined up here. Now I create all these pictures myself with the mouth movements in them. That's a secret I'm not sure that too many people know how to do, but sorry, you, no you, let's just go there. All right. And now these three elements are already set up to start sequencing. Let me delete that layer. And I'm going to add these characters.
So Rich, if you're doing that on a matrix and you wanted to do other things besides the face on the matrix, do you have to make a copy of the matrix that each share the same channels?
No, you can do it by layers, via layers.
Okay, cool.
Now, what I'm not understanding is why in the world that's my face matrix. Oh, I've already got it up there. That's why. Jiminy Christmas. Nobody caught that. Neither did I. Okay. Okay, call me back. The heck did I name him other things, guys?
You said Monster 1 and Monster 2.
Yeah. Well, this is test phase 2 on here. So I will add test phase 2. And test phase. All right. So now, once I want to bring test phase 2 in here, what I'll do is I'll have to come in here and I'll have to set it up. I can't set the timing trap up yet because I don't have no phone names in there or nothing. So what I'll do is I've got the face definition as Monster 2, and I'm going to go with the eyes automatic. I will set this one up as Monster 1. I'll leave the eyes up like that. And face matrix. I should be able to pick Frankenstein tree. Let me turn my brightness up a little bit. And there's Frankenstein on the matrix showing right there. And there's the mouth, and let me turn the brightness up on that. There's the eyes working and the mouth for test face 1. And brightness back up on that.
What's the resolution on your matrix, Rich?
My matrix is 1,920 pixels, 48 high by 40 wide. All right. Okay. Now that we got our faces in there, we can start listening to the music and see where we want to put our stuff in at. I hope everybody likes the Stones. Oops. We got the timing there already. So let's listen to it.
I've been around for a long, long year. Introduce my.
There we go. That's where I want to be. Right here.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
We'll set that there. And I work by the when I do this, I try to do it by doing one sentence of the song at a time. I find it the easiest way.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Left click on the timing twice, double click on it, and it'll bring up your label. Yeah.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
I knew I did that wrong. All right, that should be the first one.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Let's spread this out a little more so we can see it. Then once you have that in, oh, come on. Trust me, this goes a lot faster when I'm not trying to explain it, guys. All right, once you have your phrase in there, all you have to do is highlight it or click on it, maybe, and then click breakdown phrase. It'll take it a few seconds because it's got to access the dictionary in there for the first time. And after the first time, it'll start taking right off. Now, if you're using 2016.7, you used to be able to click inside the cell and highlight everything in here, like that just did right there. But in 2016.8, it will not do that. I guess it was a fluke. It never should have done what it was doing. But if you take and you deselect the timing mark and then just highlight all of that, you can right click and break the selected words down. But what I'll do first is I'll get these where I want them. And if you really want to get touchy, you can come down to quarter speed. Oh, come on. Really? Boy, what is going on? It's never that like that. All right.
Please allow me to introduce.
Well, I forgot to put the word "to" in there.
Please allow me to introduce my.
All right. Well,
Please allow me to introduce. Please allow me to introduce.
I don't need that one in there.
Please allow me to introduce my. Please allow me to introduce myself.
All right.
Is anyone recording this by chance?
Somebody was going to try to record it. Yes, I couldn't.
Okay.
I don't know how to sign in as Kevin.
I'm going to see if I can, because I know Kevin wanted it recorded.
Yeah.
I've got it
All right.
recorded. I'll upload it to YouTube and post the link on the xLights Facebook page.
Thank you
You
very
are
much.
recording it?
Yeah, somebody is recording it, they said.
All right.
There's a couple of them, actually.
Rich, welcome to the weekly meeting. I'm Roger H. on Do It Yourself Christmas. I'm usually here every week. And welcome, everyone. I can't remember ever seeing 34 people over here, but welcome, everyone.
Wow, we got 34 of them in here. All right. I haven't even looked at that.
The average is usually around 5, and I've seen as many as 23. So this is a record. So
right.
welcome, everyone, and please come back each week.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people speaking, helping each other and giving good advice in here. That's for sure.
And I'm just switching over to xLights this year from Vixen 3. So yeah, I'm interested in this stuff. Really
All
appreciate
right.
the demo.
All right, not a problem. But once we have the words all broke down like this, like I say, unclick your timing mark, highlight all the words, click on it, and break down and select the words. And I didn't spell introduce right. All right. Once you get in there and you got the words broke down, you can sit there and listen to it, and you can move the phonemes around so that you can get the letters and the mouth movements to look more like what you need them to. Whether you got too much T, too much O shape. And like right here, I've got three et ceteras. That's how it's breaking the word down. I know I don't need 3 et ceteras, so I will at least delete one of them out of there. And I will do what I can to get my mouth shapes the way that I need them to. So if we go to the face matrix and let's zoom this back out and we play this, it should have done what it was supposed to, but it didn't. Oh, I don't have the timing selected. Let's see if that works. No, come on, really?
Do you have to render?
No, shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to. It's all there. See if that one will do it.
Please allow me to.
No, ain't this just crazy stuff? Never fails. Never fails. Oh, I know why. Oh, get that out of there. I know why. I need to pick the timing track it needs to follow. I forgot to do that. So we'll select on the new timing. There he goes. I kind of grabbed some wrong pictures. There are some with backgrounds in here, but that'll be all my fault. So yeah, you got to make sure you have the timing track that they go to selected. I've got one right now that I'm working on that's going to have a bunch of timing tracks involved, or mouth movements. So let's try this.
Please allow me to introduce myself. Please allow me to introduce myself.
And when it comes to doing the picture matrices,
I'm a man of will and taste.
So like I say, you just highlight the area, put your timing mark in there, double click. I do believe he says, I am a man of WEL. A man of wealth and taste. And then just right click on it, break down the phrase.
I'm a man.
Oh, I hit spacebar way too many times. All right. I'm new at this teaching stuff, guys, so bear with me a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I'm a man.
you know how it goes.
I'm a man. I'm a man of will.
Oops.
I'm a man.
There we go. Now, words like isn't is not going to be in here. If there's an S on the end of most words, it's not going to be in here. So what I'll do is, I know it's I am a man, but if it's just I'll break down this word, and then I'll just delete that A. And I will attach these two, and I've got I'm now. It's one of the best ways to do it once you really get in here and start breaking these things down.
I'm a man of will. Will. Will and taste.
I don't know why
Will and taste.
it's being so jumpy right now. I don't know if it's because of
Will
online.
and taste.
All right.
Will. I'm a man of will and taste.
And then to show you the other ones,
I'm a man of will and taste.
So, Rich, that second or the final breakdown is the actual call to the pictures or the nodes. Is that
yes,
right?
yes, that's the actual call to the phonemes themselves. That's what that final breakdown does.
Will.
I don't know why that one ain't working at all. I don't actually have any of these types of faces to singing faces. But there are people out there who do, and setting them up. I mean, it's not real tough to set them up over in your layout tab once you have your model created, you know. You just come into your faces and select your nodes that your channel numbers that you're going to. So, I mean, you guys can see how easy it is to sequence these songs this way. Are there any questions at all?
I started late.
You started late.
Yeah. Your one with your image looks like on a matrix. Where'd you get the image from?
I created it.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys what I do is I go into Google images is what I'll do. And I will find pictures and I'll spend the time, the hours of coloring them in, making the faces. I've got several that I've done. I've got a few that I'm working on that I'm not ready to show yet, but there are some really cool things going on right now with what I'm able to do with this program. You can, let's say, how can I place? You can do anything you want. You you add a layer to a matrix, you can sit there and put this back behind it, and it should show without any issues. I need to make some adjustments on it though. But I seem to have lost my effect settings for that. What's going on? I can't even delete that. Yes, everybody, I am using 20. No layer there now. Huh? All right, there's a layer. When it gets to where there's actually no background behind it, you can see the spiral going. But of course, I've got a bad picture there. But yeah, you can put effects on top of effects on top of effects behind them without an issue. Let me come over here and do this.
Hey, Rich, can I ask real quick? So you said you find faces off of Google, but
Yeah.
is there like a generic set of mouth movements that you can find off Google or somewhere?
I have found the phonemes in there, and what I've done is I've broke the sheet of them down into single individual mouth movements and taken the backgrounds out of them so that I can place them on top of a picture.
Okay. Thanks.
In fact, I think in the xLights Nutcracker group, Gil has a document in there with all the mouth movements in it that he posted for people.
Okay. Thanks.
Not a problem. Let me see. That one got a background to it. Boy, this is crazy. Why ain't this thing working right? Bear with me a second here, guys. I'm going to.
It's okay. There's only 30 some people watching.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It don't bother me. I'm just going back to 2016-7. I haven't had no issues with that one.
You know, everything works until you're actually showing people, and then
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna mess up.
You have no idea how many times I have people say, I've got issues. I say, well, do you have time for Team Viewer? Sure. I get in there and there are no issues. It's working fine, you know?
Well, I've never done something like this, so it's kind of interesting to me.
Oops. Where I wanted to be. Oh. All right, come on. Get out of there. Do musical sequence. That one right there. Stones. I'm just going to add the face matrix for right now. And go with test face 1. All right. Make sure all my pictures are in there. Yeah, okay. All right, so anybody that come in late, is there any questions? Everybody's being awful quiet. I can't see the chat for some reason. I don't know why.
Hey, Rich, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hey, this is Daryl. Is there any way that you're not importing the lyrics from online, like copying and paste them into the timing track?
You can do that. There, now I got that thing open. You can do that, but once you place them in there, you've still got to go back through and break them all down.
Correct.
And you
Yeah,
got
that's usually how I do it, and then I break it down by phrase, just like, or by sentence, by line, like just like you're doing right now. But
yeah, I have found it easier to just go in, listen to it.
So, Gerald, are you pasting the song right here in this window that he's typing in?
I will show you here in a second.
yeah, he'll show you. Basically, you just right click on the new timing, and you can import lyrics that way.
Okay.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Oh. I can't get to my Google search neither. Boy, this is crazy when you're doing this kind of thing. Nope, I can't get to it. Now I've just lost that screen thing. Come on now. So how many people can see my TSO logo?
I can.
I can.
What's he playing?
Guitar. That's all I know. Now, where did everything go here? All right. Well, let me stop this and go back into here. There, I got that up over there now. So let me go back into sharing again. Ooh. Share screen, down there, share. All right, screen's back. So what I'll do, what you can do is go in here and, what's the name of that song now?
Sympathy for the Devil.
There you go. There it is. And then you can just copy all of this. Close that out for now. And get out of here. I can't do freaking nothing with this thing. And if we delete that. I don't know how you guys do it with this thing. I can't seem to do nothing with it. But that's my problem. And you highlight and make a whole timing like that.
You don't need to highlight. All you got to do is just right click on it and import.
Right click and do what now?
Right click on the Papgayo new timing track.
Ah, there it is. Okay. Paste. Okay. I don't ever do it that way. So thank you.
Testing.
I forgot all about that. Testing's good.
Testing's good. Thank you.
And there is the entire thing in there. All your words and your phrases are in there. And then you just have to come back in here. And we know that the lyrics don't start till down here. You gotta sit there and you gotta move all these around to get them down here where they need to go. Which is why I choose to just do it the way I've been doing it. But that is just me. Because you got to sit there and move all of these things down.
I do it the long way.
The long way? How's that?
I actually go into Audacity and I find the start point of each word and I build me a timing track. I import the timing track, and it gives me each word without having to position each word.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Although in Nutcracker, you can sit there and do that. When you get finished with it, you don't have anything to fall back on. If you do it in Audacity, then you have the Audacity timing track in case you have to re-import it into something else or do it again.
Well, after I work on it for so long, the first thing I'll do is I'll come up here and I will select back up. I will save it and back up. That is your best friend right there.
Oh, I understand that. F10 is wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It can pull yours out of the fire many times.
Yes. Yeah, this is another way, and like he was saying, that you can do it that way as well. I mean, oops, going the wrong direction here. Close it out.
There is multiple ways to do this. I was here to see how you did it.
Like I say, crap, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to delete those. I just do it by phrase, and I set the timing as I go. That's exactly how I do it. And I was able to do Frosty the Snowman and add my elf faces to it in an hour and a half. Just sitting here listening to it, play it.
Rich, do you do all of yours just on your matrix?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
That's really cool. Not too many people have that dense of matrix.
No, it's when that Falcon board come out, I definitely had to make it. Mine's 8 feet high by 6 feet wide, 1,920 pixels.
Dwarfs mine. I only have 240 on mine. It's 3 foot by 8 foot, which is 24 by 10.
Yeah, you can still make the pictures look good on there without an issue. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to try it on my matrix this year. Mine is 16 feet wide and 4 feet tall. 32 strips.
That's a big matrix.
Now, Tom, you're just showing off.
Yeah.
I'll show you my videos.
Tom, are you the one that I saw the pictures of having it all laid out like a billboard as you were wiring it up?
It does look kind of like a billboard.
Is it on your front porch? Is that you?
No, that's not me. Mine's actually sitting in a flower bed facing the street. It's too big to put anywhere else.
I'm working on 5 matrices right now, the biggest of which is 8 feet square. It's 2,250 pixels, and my fingers hurt just thinking about it.
What are you using to put your pixels in? To hold them in place.
The Holiday Coro clear grid material.
All right. Can I give you a piece of advice that works really killer and is a lot cheaper?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you go to Home Depot, purchase some of their plastic coated wire mesh. It's in a 1/2 inch size. You could take a pair of needle nose, stick it in there and round it just a little bit, and then pixels will snap right into place and your thumbs will thank you.
I wish you'd told me that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's how I built mine last year, and it's still sitting outside and it's still holding up real good. And it's far less money.
Experience is a good teacher, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Is there anybody have any other questions or something they need to know about how to do the mouth movements in here?
Rich, I have a question. I purchased a couple of sequences for 4 Coro singing trees, and included with that, Ed included the PGO, the Papgayo file.
Yeah.
Is there a way to import the Papgayo file onto a matrix?
I don't know about importing it into a matrix. I know you can. There are people out there who have made drawings of like the monster faces
Right.
that will show up as pictures on a matrix, and then you would just have to come into your layout, go into the faces, create a new monster or whatever, and then direct your mouth movements to those pictures. I do know that much.
Then where would you import the Papgayo file?
All I know, and I've never used it, and this is in this Papgayo tab.
Okay.
And this is basically becoming obsolete anymore.
It does work. Last year and year before last, I used the Papgayo tab. It does work, but it's quite a process.
Yeah.
I think I even wrote up a how-to one time.
I would love to have that if you can find it.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
Thanks,
'cause
Tom.
I've never had to use this tab at all. And again, I don't have every element that other people have. I try to get knowledge from those that do. Like Stephen Hughes, he uses the rope lights. I know him real well. And in fact, this is where, like I said, this is where I got his. He gave me these models today to add in here to my setup. Let me change my directory here real quick. And I'll bring up one of them that I've done. Maybe it'll open. Wait, for 37 people in here, it's awful quiet. Let me open up.
You don't want everybody to unmute their mics. You'll hear every toilet flush in the pipe.
I figured there'd be a lot more questions.
There will be once I actually try this.
You've explained it very well, Richard.
Well, I hope I did. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it, really.
Well, no, I have to agree because I honestly haven't begun using it myself, which this season I plan on it.
Yeah.
So I think I have 6 or 8 singing faces that will make an appearance.
Okay.
Hopefully if I can get the project done. So
Is that Clyde Lindsay?
Yes, it's Clyde Lindsay.
Clyde, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for all of your YouTube videos. God bless you.
you're not going to see any for a while. I'm having a little bit of difficulty at home right now. So
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling much better. The pneumonia is gone.
And the mama is home and she's feeling better.
Mom just came home from the hospital last night. It was her birthday. I spent the night with her. And but I'm having other personal issues that I will eventually share. You all will find out. So, but at this time, I don't want to talk about it. So.
Yeah, that's understandable, Clyde. All right, this is one I did for last year.
Time for a word from our sponsor.
Tired of paying high dollar for low temperature, eh? Come on down to Crazy Bob for you.
All right, who broke it? Who broke it?
I think it's called New Version.
Yeah. They're all there. Nope, that's the elf. I want the snowman. Okay. Let me shrink to new timing, auto. Okay. This is unreal. There we go.
Check out. Time for a word from our sponsor.
Tired of paying high dollar for low temperature, eh? Come on down to...
Oh, yeah, sure. There it goes. It ain't working again. Snowman. New timing.
Snowflakes for sure.
Yeah.
Did you assign the timing track?
Yeah. Yep. It's all there. That's why I say I can't understand, because when I come over here, yeah, these new, I never should have done that before coming into here. And it keeps going back to the snowman.
What's your layer settings on the blending?
It's all set properly.
Word from our sponsor.
Tired of
This is unreal. I'm set to the snowman. But the pictures just ain't showing up for some reason, and I don't know why. So let's go back over here. Everybody gets to see the fumbling part of it.
Yes, this is exactly what I go through and that I cut out, that I spend hours rendering video for.
Yeah. I'd have more video on the floor than I would anywhere if I was doing this all the time.
The question is, how many hours have you listened to these songs?
A lot. A lot. Come on. That's not even wanting to work properly.
Most people don't realize how much work it is just to get like a minute of, face movements.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's W. Where's the rest? Like I say, I played this yesterday to make sure everything was going all right. I was playing with them earlier. Everything was going all right.
What question is, when did you upgrade to the latest version?
I've been up and down a couple times today.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bug in this latest version.
In fact, what I was showing on the one version there, dadgummit, all right, etc., is I actually found a fluke where you can left click and highlight the words in the timing mark and break them down that way, and it quit working in 8. I'm like, well, that's crazy. So Gil and I got to talking, and he said, hey, try this. If you turn the timing mark off, you can still get it to work. Why is he? There he is. There he is, guys.
A word from our sponsor.
tired of paying high dollar for low temperature, eh? Come
I
on
missed the
down
picture.
to Crazy Bob's Refrigerator Emporium, where the best brands are on ice. Yeah, at prices that are practically frost.
Brightness?
Now, what I have found out, and I will give you guys this much advice, is when you play these on the matrices, you need to sequence them at around 28%. If you don't, that's one of them. Oops. Let me try this. Let's just change his face in the sequence.
Is that set of graphics posted up on the forum?
What's that now?
Is that set of graphics for that snowman posted on the forum?
No, I don't think I shared him.
I shared a similar one. It's on the official xLights group files on Facebook.
For a word from our sponsor.
Yeah. All right, rule number 1, guys. Don't ever play with the upgrades prior to trying to give a talk, because it just ain't working out. Not right now, anyhow. So maybe if I change it to Frankie. And there he is. I could turn his brightness up a little bit.
And for a word from our sponsor.
Tired of paying high dollar for low temperature, eh? Come on down to Crazy Bob's Refrigerator Emporium, where the best brands are on ice. Yeah, at prices that are practically frost-free. Short on cold cash? Check out Crazy Bob's Easy Crazy Financing Plan. Take home a new freezer today, and later on we'll consider.
And I don't see, they haven't gotten the eyes blinking fixed yet neither. So their eyes ain't blinking properly right now within these sequences. Any other questions out there on this?
Well, I don't have a question so much as I admire your artwork. I'm not an artist. Are you sharing any of your artwork? Or I think I heard somebody ask that earlier, perhaps, but
What I did last year, I shared some of them, but what I'm using this year, I'm not sharing it at this particular moment. If you know, I'm not trying to be, I don't know what you want. I'm not trying to hoard anything, but I also don't want to see 50 of the same faces out there.
You wish to be unique.
Yeah, for right now. So what I'm looking at is when I do it next year, I will probably release some of the faces that I've done, but some of them are going to stay very unique to me. If everybody can kind of understand that, I can
certainly can. Well, let me ask another question. If somebody has a wish for a set of a particular of a particular that they have that you don't have, would you be willing? Are you willing to do it for a purchase? Or
yes, I tell you what, and I've been thinking very highly of doing that, is doing and selling custom faces for people. The biggest question is how much to charge somebody and what would they be willing to pay. I've got, and I'll show you her picture, maybe if I can get to it here. Yeah, I know how to get to it. Let me just take, and I'll shorten this up.
Well, because for example, I am actually going to be looking to do instead of doing like singing trees or something, I'm actually looking to do singing light bulbs. Not that I'm aware of. If somebody has if somebody's posted a set, I would love to learn where they might be so I can get my hands on them, because I am not a graphical artist. I'm more of the computer programmer and stuff and everything. So artistry is not my forte. So if somebody knows of a set out there,
I think I saw one on the Lore website.
Let's see here. Where do I need to go? Browse.
Well, there's also the Boscoyo Coro light bulb if you're interested in doing it with like a dumb RGB.
Well, actually, I'm working on a template that I'm not even. I've seen Boscoyo's, and I may go after his, but I have another idea that I'm working on my own as well. So we'll see in the end how it plays out for that. But I'm also planning on doing a P10 panel, and I would love for them to show up on that as well.
Well, I'm about to show you something here. I just had to go over to another another directory here because you brought it up, so I'll show you.
While you're looking, whoever was asking for the how-to document in the Papgayo tab and how to get the Papgayo stuff into Nutcracker, I think I found my document if you want to PM me.
Is that what you're talking about right there?
Oh, you have it already? Oh my goodness.
Technically, I've done that one, this one, and this one. So yes, I've already created them and designed them. to show up on a matrix.
I hear the dollar bills racking up for you there, Rich.
I'm on Facebook. Send me a PM. I'm trying to figure out how in the world I can't get to none of my other stuff down here to get into my folders. So I got to try to find another way. Let's go documents. No, I want C. Users. Oh. Hey, I felt that way before.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
Hey, I saw those Light Show Pro folders.
Yeah, there's not a sequencer I haven't used. This girl here that I've designed, I've got to get her mouths in her yet. Right now, just to color her to get her to look like that, I've got over 40 layers on her to get her colored. This was a coloring page that I brought in, but I just got to get the mouths in her.
Now, are you using like Photoshop to go in and help you with that?
I'm using Adobe Photoshop. Yes. This is the Santa or the snowman that was on that one sequence that didn't show up.
So I have a question, Rich.
Go ahead.
When you're creating these, or like I saw on the Girl Elf, I think they're like 300 pixels tall. So are you resizing these to
No,
48?
I'm not.
So you're just
No.
you're just putting them in as, or just when they load in, they're scaling automatically.
You have to select on your effect settings. Oops, that's not it. Those aren't effect settings. Where did it go? Yeah, that is. I'd have to find one. I have to find a picture here. Hang on a second. Oh, shoot. Don't I have a picture in this one? No, I do not. So let's put one in here. Now, I will drop a picture of her on one of the P10 panels. Oops. That's what she looks like. And then once I come in here and I click on scaled, there she is. And that'll be 2 panels. That's 2 panels wide by 10 panels high.
But what about when you've actually got the mouths in and you're going to make her sing?
Okay, all her mouths will show up perfectly.
So you're just leaving it at 300 whatever, and when you
Yep.
put the Papgayo face effect, it's just scaling automatically?
Yep, everything scales automatically.
Okay.
With my matrix, what I did find out with is sometimes you have to play with the size of the mouth or the position of the mouth because it won't line up on that 2-inch, my 2-inch spacing on my matrix. You know what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I was to drop her on the face matrix, she looks a lot different. Oops. And that's her on the face matrix.
So obviously, if you went into Photoshop and stacked all your layers and then cropped it to just the face, it's going to look the resolution of the mouth movements is going to be better.
Yes. You know, it's kind of like that's her full sized. And then if I change this to the Frankenstein, just the head. xLights. Boy, I got so many boxes open here, hiding everything. You know, that's what Frankenstein's head looks like on my pixel matrix.
And so you find that you don't really have a problem with the mouth lining up at 2 inch.
No.
Okay.
Not too many times. And if I do, like you say, you can resize the picture or you can reposition the mouths and make the mouths a little bit bigger on the face so they show.
See, on my smaller window grids, like 18 by 25, I'm finding that pictures just don't look good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you could play with the sizing of it. Is that's going to be my guess. Is I know sometimes they'll take them down to they'll shrink them down to like 50 by 50 or 100 by 100, then scale them onto it. And I've just been lucky enough that everything has flowed for me, and it's worked out really good.
Rich, when you're done with all the software demo part, do you have any video or some links that you could share with so people can see what it actually looked like on your matrix? Because I find a lot of times the representation doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, I've only got a couple videos that I took this year, but I don't have a polarized lens to put over the camera, and they're kind of blurry.
So in other words, you do video like I do. So,
yeah.
It's like none of us are professionals. I think. At least most of us aren't. And I don't have a drone to go up and take a picture of it either.
I got a friend down in Texas who's got a drone that's going to come up here one Christmas and film for me, he said.
Yeah, Daryl, what do you say?
I crashed mine the other day.
Well, that ain't no good.
No, it's not.
And of course, you had your letters and everything on there so they could blame someone, right? That must be a no.
Daryl, are you going to be at the Academy in April?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is Mark. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
I will be there, still wrapping up everything with Clyde and Ryan.
Okay, cool.
Rich, I've got the video that you sent me on that snowman that was live. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, do you?
I think so. I'll have to go dig.
Yeah, dig it out, Steven.
All right.
You know what, guys? You need to go to Richard Renn's
Facebook page.
Renn's Lights for Charity. His videos are on the page, and regardless what he says, he's done a very good job at videoing them. They look great. He's being very modest.
Rich, what's your last name?
Renn, R-E-N-N.
R-E-N-N?
Yep.
All right. Mine is James, by the way. I'm gonna message you on Facebook and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. You can get a hold of me through either the Renn's Lights for Charity page or Richard Renn II on just regular, my regular Facebook page. Daryl, I sent you a message. Look at it. We have any more questions? Come on, guys. Anything about xLights?
Hey, Rich, I didn't get anything from you, bud.
You didn't get anything from me. Well, that's crazy.
No, sir.
It wasn't on Facebook. It was in a private message here.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, Daryl.
Well, Rich, as long as you have this beautiful display, can you show us something that you've done in the past, just using video?
Oh, you mean just using this here?
Well, I've been using Vixen 3. I want to switch over to xLights this year, but haven't really seen many demos per se of like trying videos and stuff. So if you did this, you obviously have done some videos on that too. So I'd be kind of curious if you want to elaborate a little bit on that.
When you say videos,
If it was just something that you just grabbed, you know, like a that animation on your
show the animation,
like that. Yeah, some, you know, nothing elaborate. I mean, just something just to give an idea of what you had done and how you had thrown it on there.
I got, oops, what the heck? That's not what I wanted. Give me a second here.
Because I've tried adding animation using Vixen 3, but my resolution is so low, it just turns out like crap. You know, and not to say that xLights is going to do any better. It's like I have to literally at least double or quadruple the resolution I have. But I'd be curious to see what I could expect if I did that.
All right, I'm gonna now you're talking like video on the matrix and that?
Yes.
Okay, let me change my show directories back here. How many people are going to down to the academy? Very many of you guys?
Where is that?
Down in Texas.
No, too far for to go this year.
This is Mark. I'll be at the academy.
You'll be at the academy? Cool.
Yeah, this is James. I normally go to a Christmas Expo.
Okay.
It would give me a good excuse to get some in and out, but since we don't have any here in Tennessee, I'm originally from Southern California, but probably won't be making that drive.
Shoot, I did that wrong. I got something I'm going to show you that I'm working on right now. It's not completely done yet, but I'll show you exactly. It's got video in it. It's got the singing faces in it. It's going to be a Halloween God, I hope it plays. It was playing earlier.
Then it won't play now.
Come on now, don't do this to me. And there it is. All right, let's see if we can get this to play here.
There is a child and she sleeps in the gutter. Don't close your eyes and she's easy to see. She is not your child, she's always another's. And those you abandon, they are left to me. And no, I will impale her like a knife. Leave her twisting day after day after day of a very short life with Listen now closely and hear how I planned it. Please let me tell you just how it will be. She'll feel the pain, but she won't understand it. She'll think it's her fate, but will know it's me. And no, I will impale her like a knife. Leave her twisting day after day after day of a very short life with me. So let me know, have I been clear? That I will magnify each cut and every bruise and every single childhood tear. I'll pick her scabs, cripple a hand, Push a finger in each wound I make. Now tell me then, do you understand? Do you understand?
But that fire is actually a video file played in there.
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
Why don't you try adding another layer to that and putting the second video down in the next layer down? That way you don't have that jump. And do a fade out and a fade in.
Yeah, I'm just this here is just something I was testing on.
I think it looks great, man. You did a great job with it.
It's awesome.
I mean, that's outstanding. I've been waiting to see video put on the Matrix myself.
Let's see.
The window matrix is your P10 panel.
Yeah, that's gonna be P10 panels up here.
What's the resolution on those?
I'm just gonna be 2 panels wide by 10 panels high.
Wow.
And that's exactly what it'll look like. Let me close this one out.
Oh, I have a question. Right before we did that, how do you get on the timing where the Papgayo logo is? How does that happen?
This up here.
Yeah,
where the parrot is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you here in a second. As soon as it's done saving here.
Okay.
I should have just discarded the changes, but with my luck, it wiped out the entire sequence. All right, so if we go, I'll just do it in an animation sequence real quick. Once you put a timing mark in and you get your phrase in there, and then you break down that word, it automatically kicks in.
Okay, thank you.
And then, like I say, you have to take your timing marks. You can highlight all the words, and then you can break down the selected words, right-click. Let's see, close the sequence, discard changes. All right, you wanted to see one of my Christmas ones, all right?
Rich, how big is your matrix that the snowman talks on?
That is 8 feet high by 6 feet wide, 1,920 pixels.
Hang on, 8 feet wide by 8 feet tall by what?
6 feet wide.
8 feet tall?
Yes, by 6 feet wide.
Okay.
Young man.
2-inch spacing?
Yep, 2-inch spacing.
Okay. I just posted it in the chat room. Finally found it.
Okay.
Is this just regular, like, bullet nodes?
The square pixel.
Square ones, okay.
Right now, out of all the songs that I've done, this song here is the one I like the best. Now, right now, this is all the sequencing that I did in Nutcracker on this. I've had it done over in LOR for a long time, and when I converted over to xLights, I just brought in the data layer and played it on this. This is my neighbor's house. This is all AC channels over here. From this pixel tree over, this is all my house, and it's assorted various different ones. I'm going to start this, about the 1 minute mark and play it from there. Okay, that was all the exciting stuff, guys. Dead silence. I must have chased everybody out of
Very,
here.
no, I was on mute. Very nice. Cool.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
It just went down to 14 people. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. It was strange, huh?
Actually, no, we didn't lose anyone.
So was all of your house, is that all dumb RGBs? The
No.
outline of the house and the windows?
The roof line is 5-volt, 2811 pixel strips. The runners going up the house, those are dumb RGBs. I've got it broken into 6 or 8 segments, run with a 27 channel controller. The arch is dumb RGBs broken into 6 sections. And these little lines over here are known as LED lasers. I run LED lasers as well.
Okay. It's very impressive.
What about those little arches in the front? How big are those?
Those there are 6 feet wide by 3 feet high. I got 20 bullet nodes in each arch, which is made with 1-inch PEX tubing.
So you have a huge front yard, it looks like.
Well, not really. I'm only from my front porch to these arches is only about, I want to say 15 feet at the most.
So very wide then.
Yeah, it's pretty wide. Well, yeah, you figure there's 14 arches at 6 feet, and the only break there is the walkway going up to the steps. That's it.
I've only got 3 arches right now that I have built, and they're 8 feet long and about 30 inches high, made out of 10-foot PVC pipe, and just with RGB strip lighting zip tied around each one. So 9 pixels per arch.
I would like to make some arches that go over the driveway. It's what I'd really like to do.
One of the things I find out, and I'm up in Wisconsin, this past winter we had some like 50 plus mile-an-hour winds, and it was blowing stuff down. So, when you build stuff, kind of high, you have to take that into account.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I live right on Lake Erie, and we've had 70 mile-an-hour winds come off the lake. Now my pixel tree over here is almost 10 feet tall, and I use a portable hole, and I've got no guy wires on it, and it doesn't move. It'll withstand just about any amount of wind that comes in.
Rich, how many years have you been doing this?
8 or 9 years now.
Have you had any pixels like toward the top of the roof where you lost half your display or anything weird because of all the wind and stuff?
No, I have not. And I knock on wood, because you had to say something about my roof line. I put them up 3 years ago and have not taken them down.
Because it's interesting, because I've had stuff where I put stuff up and everything works, and the day before Christmas you'd have something that would just take out like 3/4 of a line just because one pixel went.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
And I'd go up there and say, I'm not going up and soldering, so I would literally cut the wire and put a jumper cable across 1 pixel.
Yeah, I know how that goes. I definitely know how that goes. All right, I'm going to show you what video will look like here, since the question was asked. Now, in order to do video, it's quite a process that I don't want to try to show anybody tonight. But if you get a hold of me, I would help walk you through it without an issue. Let's see, man, the timing. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the picture effect in there. And I'm going to search out my video. And of course, I'm going to go with everybody's favorite. All right.
Is that a woman in there?
Yeah. Sure is.
Let me put my glasses on. I can't quite see it.
That's the video from the movie Frozen. That's Elsa.
Yes, it is. And the video will just play right along without any issues.
So do you have that group, those three matrices grouped, and it's going across the group?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and then on the effect settings, I've got it set to scaled, and it'll scale all across 3. If I go to none, where is none?
At the top, very top.
Yeah. It'll just play on one panel. It'll play it in the center of all the panels.
Okay. So
So that's
scale
why
will make it go across all 3.
The scaled will stretch it across all of them. There are 3 separate models in my layout, but then I created a model group called Window Matrix so that I can drop an effect on that and it'll play across all 3 of them.
That was worth the price of admission right there.
So you have those panels on the inside. Would that be correct?
Yes, they're going to be inside my house.
Weather would do havoc on them.
What's it? Yeah. And the reason I want them inside the house, let me research here. I think I've got him. I'm not sure though. Let me shrink it down.
Okay, how about you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Well, originally I was planning on going out to dinner was my plan. And then it rained.
Well, I'm not seeing it. I've got in my other folder, and I don't know if I can get to it from here. I've got that virtual Santa.
There's a webinar going on. And I thought I'd try.
Hello, ma'am. We can hear your conversation.
Quick time to see whether I forgot about it just now.
Preston, we can hear your conversation.
Well, if it was getting juicy, we'd not say anything.
I was waiting for the good stuff.
Good thing you didn't have this on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? All right, I'm trying to find my chat box again.
I think that's also where the TV talk is coming from.
Yeah.
I like that effect of it going between windows.
Yes, it works out really, really, really good.
Now, do you have it? How do you actually do that? Is that with one controller and it's like
I'm gonna
matrix of P, or how does that work out?
I will have one Beagle Bone Black sitting underneath this left-hand window with an octo scroller on it. And from the people I've talked to, I will probably feed power to this one and this one with their own power supplies. But my ribbon cable is going to come in the bottom left. I will come out of the top left because it's only 5 feet to this next window. Then I'll come into this one and feed. I'll come out the bottom and go across over to this window and feed that one. They're saying the data should work perfectly so that I can get away with just using one Beagle Bone Black.
Please do a video of that when you hook it all up.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, I can assure you that at the Texas Academy, Daryl don't know it yet, but we're going to test what you're trying to do. I promise you.
Oh, okay.
Well, be throwing that out there, Daryl.
I also wanted to let some people know that down in Texas at the Academy, for those of you that are going to go, that pumpkin sequence is going to be for sale down there. Just stop by and see Daryl.
The one with the flames?
Yes.
Awesome.
That will be for sale down there.
Now, for those of us that have never used these P10 panels and an octo scroller, can you explain that? Is that just like a controller for running these panels, or like I've used simple controllers that you run 3 wires off of it per channel, and that so it's obviously totally different.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rich, send him up to Daryl. Let him explain it and go let's go from there.
I'm gonna say, hey, Daryl, unmute yourself and talk to these guys about this stuff. I'm not.
I have a 2-year-old right now screaming her head off, trying not to go to bed right now. So I've been kind of muted for a little bit. But if anybody wants to send me a PM, Daryl Pilgrim, or look me up at CrockettFantasyOfLights.com, I would be more than willing to sit down, either chat, call, email, whatever, and guide you through setting up something like this. I have a 36 panel matrix, 6x6 is what I'm currently testing on right now. But they go up to 8 runs of 8, which is 64 off of 1 BBB and octo scroller.
So, Rich, what would you say one of those panels is costing you? Just
what it's gonna cost me without the BeagleBone Black, the power supply, and the octo scroller. The panels are selling for $10.50 a piece, I do believe, right now.
And how many panels was that?
I'm going to be doing 64 panels.
Well, that's not bad.
No.
That's very reasonable.
Especially when you start figuring out pixels and a controller and your power supplies to do pixels to do the same amount.
Well, you look at average pixel is going to cost you anywhere from 25 to 40 cents,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a reasonable price. You know, and the effects are awesome.
So
Each
on that
one of the
BeagleBone
panels
Black,
has 512 pixels on it.
so on the BeagleBone Black, you running Falcon Player on that?
Yeah, I do believe so.
That is correct.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on P10 panels over on the Falcon website.
Yeah, the only problem is when you get over there and you look, and it's not their fault by no means, but you start looking around and you start to actually, okay, I've got my BeagleBone Black, I've got my power supply, I've got my panels. Now how do I make it all go together? And I've got my Falcon Pi player. You have to draw from different sources. You have to draw from the Falcon Christmas forum on how to load Falcon Pi player onto your BeagleBone Black. There's 2 different ways that you can load it. You got to make a decision. Then you hook your panels up. You have to have power. You have to have data. You have to have the octo scroller. And there's a couple of good sources out there. And I guess what I need to do is get with Rich and Daryl and see if maybe we can't throw something together to where once you get your stuff in the mail from wherever you get it, let's set it up and let's go from there and go step by step, because that's the hardest part right there. It's getting everything set up where everything talks to everything and everything works.
Well, I have a Pi coming in the mail tomorrow, and I have an Alpha Pick 16, so that's where I'm coming from. So it's like I want to make something totally different this year. So it's like, well, I've got part of the stuff that learning curve of just using the Pi by itself.
Yep. And I tell you what, I was given a Pi last year and I got everything loaded on it. I tested it at Halloween and it was so easy to set everything up on that Pi to run a show. It was unbelievable. Just my not my power supply, my FM transmitter did not like the Pi. So I couldn't run it.
Well, you can see why, with me going to a Pi this year is why xLights, I've heard that I can just literally save a sequence and then just load it up onto the Pi and it works with the Pi player.
Out of curiosity, what FM transmitter do you have that did not work with the Pi?
It was a Vast FM2, and they're not known to play well with the Pi.
But isn't there a plugin for that now? Maybe there wasn't then.
Yeah, there wasn't at that time. I know that.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, because that's I think that's the FM transmitter I ordered was the Vast, the Vast FMT.
Yeah.
Rich, did you ever get that to work with your? Okay, but
I didn't have time to play with it anymore.
Okay, but you got the one that was from Amazon that we all talked about. That
little
German or Italian or wherever the heck it comes from, some SZH,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay.
The issue with the Vast is you're actually outputting audio through the USB port. Is that what the problem was?
I have no clue on that. I'm the kind of person that hooks it up, and if I run into a problem, I try to research it out. And if I can't find the answer and nobody has an answer for me, I unplug it and set it aside.
Are you doing projection mapping across those 3 panels?
No, I'm not. That's just video playing across the panels.
Oh, okay.
That's for 2017. He'll be projection mapping on his whole entire house probably.
Not unless you're buying me my freaking camera.
You don't need a camera. You need a projector.
Well, yeah, okay, my projector then.
You have a projector and it would work just fine. I bet you.
It's not a short throw.
It don't need to be a short throw.
Yeah, it does. This is what the actual video file looks like that I'm pulling from to play on the matrices. There's actually 20,251 pictures in that, and it's just scrolling through each picture at 20 frames per second to do this.
That's why it takes you 23 hours to back up and compress your sequences.
Yeah, probably. I've got some of my sequences in xLights, and Sean almost kind of fell over when he saw it when he was in my computer one day. I have one sequence that's 2.2 gigs in xLights. That's the XML file. That's the size of the XML file.
Geez, what size was the FSEQ file?
I have no idea. Didn't even look at that. This was just here a few weeks ago that we were looking, because when the new 2016 come out, there were some issues with me being able to run it, and they found out that it was a whole house model that was created prior to the 2016s. And I haven't even gone in to look to see what the FSEQ file was, and I can't get to my freaking folders with this thing running, sharing the screen. But is there any types of questions that somebody has about xLights that I might be able to answer for them while we're going?
I have a question about the pumpkin face. Hey, this is Kevin. I'm
Hello,
out
Kevin.
of Southern California, and for the past 8 years, I've traditionally been using the rope lights, but I'm planning on changing all my faces into P10 panels.
Okay.
And I really like your pumpkin and your Frankenstein thing. Is there a way, instead of the face being stationary, I mean, I like the mouth movements, but is there a way to have the head kind of move a little bit too with the singing?
Well,
or
certainly.
would I have to create different positions of the head?
You would have to, in actuality, you would have to create a position for the head, like if he leaned his head to the left. You would have to do all the mouth movements for that and plug them in for that period of time. Then if he moved his head over to the right, all the mouth positions for that. And
so they would be different layers for each head position, even though the mouth would be the same. The head positions would be different.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
That's basically how I got the fire to show through the pumpkin, was with the layers. On that pumpkin face, I went in and I basically cut out all the eyes and the mouths, so there was no background in the pictures.
That was really cool looking, but I noticed when the flames was coming through the mouth because it was black. Is there a way you could black that out so you wouldn't see the flames come through the back of the mouth?
Yeah, I've got the mouths with the black in them, so you can't see the flames.
Okay, gotcha.
But I really like the looks of the flames showing through the mouth, so that's what I did with it.
Another question was, somebody was mentioning about creating timing effects and Audacity and then importing in there and using that as my timing marks instead of doing it in xLights.
Okay.
Would I just right-click on the new timing marks and then import? If I had a timing mark that was created in Audacity?
I'm trying to see if that gentleman's still in here to answer that question. I can't remember who it was that was talking about that used Audacity.
Yeah, I didn't have my mic at the time, and I couldn't ask that question at the time.
Tom, are you still in here?
Yeah, I was working on something else. I didn't catch all the question.
Go ahead and ask him your question again.
I was wondering how, if I had timing marks created on Audacity, how would I import it in there so I wouldn't have to create the timing marks in xLights?
I have the document. If you PM me, I'll be happy to send it to you.
Tom, where do you want that PM?
What was your name
I
again?
sent you a PM on the chat. I don't think you got it.
I haven't looked on the chat lately. But
I think you got the basic idea. You export the timing track. That's what it is called, I think, in Audacity. It's called a timing track. It creates a timing file, and then you import that in as a timing layer.
Actually, coming from Papgayo, it's a little bit more complicated.
Oh, I thought he said he was coming from Audacity.
Yes,
Well,
Audacity, not Papgayo.
Oh, you're not coming from Papgayo. Okay, well, then, yeah, bring it in as a timing track. If you had something in Papgayo and was bringing it into Nutcracker, then you have to go through the Papgayo tab.
Yeah, now this was for Audacity because I have timing marks that I created in Audacity, and I'd want to import that for the mouth movements. I had every, I guess, syllable already created, so I wouldn't have to do it the way, you're sliding the bars the way Rich is doing it.
No, that's the way I do it. I put a timing mark and a word in my timing marks file, and I import them into xLights that way.
So you would right-click on the new timing and import it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also do it at the beginning of a sequence. When you go to create a new sequence, it asks you, do you want to bring in a timing track? And at that point, you can also import it in at that.
Okay.
Someone had asked earlier about the Papgayo, and I offered it up, and no one ever said anything.
That was me, Tom. I sent you a message a couple times on the chat. Would you prefer I can send it to you on Facebook if you prefer.
Either way, who am I talking to?
This is Mark Rash.
Mark Rash. Okay, that way at least I know a name with a voice.
I just posted a link in the chat of a video that Sean did about 9 months ago showing going from Audacity to xLights. So you can view that, and that might help you. Of course, everything that you do now that the Vamp plugins are in xLights, you don't even have to bother with Audacity if you didn't want to.
And that's what I mean, that's how I like it is to be able to use just use xLights all by itself. I tried I can remember when I was playing with Papgayo, I got so frustrated, 4.5 hours, and I could only get so much of a song done. And then when these guys got this working this way, it was like, man, it was so nice because you just go through and I do one sentence at a time of the song, and within a matter of a couple hours, it's all laid out and done. But everybody has their own way of doing things as well. So I'm glad there's other ways that people are sharing as far as on how to get other ways of doing it in here.
I have gone through the pain from when we very first started working with Papgayo. I was working with the programmers at the time, and that's why I put the document together to get it from Audacity to Papgayo, then from Papgayo to xLights, and also I was the one who helped guide the programmer that wrote the little program that kind of helped you get it from straightened up in Papgayo real fast.
Thank you very much for what you did.
You're welcome. And I think that accelerated them wanting to get it into xLights, and boy, I was glad to see that.
Yeah.
Believe me, now after watching this, Richard, so am I. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it adds a whole new element into your display. Whether you're using the trees with in cams on it, or RGBs, or if you're doing faces on matrices. The one song I'm doing this year is Bethlehemian Rhapsody, because I live across from a church, so I thought I'd do a nice good song for them as well. But I'm going to have 7 different singers in this. I'll have one on each one of my pixel trees, one on my face matrix, and an individual singer on each P10 panel. So, I mean, it really adds, to me, an awesome element to your display. It doesn't have to play in every song.
Hey, Tom, what's your last name?
Langley.
Thanks, Tom.
Air Force Base.
Okay, cool.
AKA Mr. Christmas 2000. I also run a Facebook group, Advanced Pixels, as well.
Okay, I'm on that group.
Yeah, I'm on that group too.
Oh, good to hear you there.
Any other questions about xLights that can be answered? If anybody has any questions, feel free to step up, ask them. We're here to help. Sounds like we've got a lot of people who play with xLights in here.
Hey, Rich, I just want to let you know this is James. I am you on Facebook already, so if
Okay.
you get a moment.
Yeah, I can't get to it right now with sharing my screen, but yeah, I will get to you, if nothing else, as soon as this is over with, all right?
Okay, understood. No problem.
Okay.
I've actually got a quick question. I think I know the answer to this. I see after your tabs up there, after sequencer, you then have Memorial Weekend and Christmas. Is that the schedule?
Yep, those are my schedules for my show.
Yeah, I'll be using the pies, so I haven't seen those, and so I wasn't sure what that was up there.
Yep, I used xLights to run my show last year.
Got it. Thanks.
Not trying to knock any other programs out there, but when everybody was having issues with their shows locking up last year, mine was running nice and smooth.
I was having that problem last year with 3 commercial shows that I was running. And all that Chinese writing was showing up.
Yep.
So you can probably figure out what I was using.
Yep, I know what you were using. I know what you were using.
I'm converting them all to xLights this year. And debatable if I'm going to run the Pi on them. I'd rather, but they're a little leery about even converting.
Yeah, I think I've talked to you one other time about that. What I tell you what is from what I've seen, that Pi is rock solid. I mean, it's just.
It is. I've used it. They're paranoid about it.
I hope so, because I'm invested into 4 of them. So.
Well, if I understand correctly,
Wouldn't want to lose that $100.
and if I understand correctly, and Dave can correct me if I'm wrong. By the way, so everybody knows, the creator of the Falcon board is in here. Thank you, David, for what you did. That's an awesome board. If I'm correct on it, you can run 200,000 channels on a Pi, and you can have 64,000 Pis hooked together. And I can't remember how many channels that come up to. It was number 32 and 9 zeros after it.
Yeah, that's kind of like how many sticks, or how many of this can you get to New York, type stick. It's nice to, like, as a, trivia, but it's probably impractical.
Yeah.
You're never going to hook that many up together just for networking, on wiring and all that. So, but there's quite a number of channels. I know a lot of people, there's one in particular that I know is over 100,000 channels. When you get over that many channels, it's probably best to go to a master and a remote, split it up a little bit, the workload between two, and just use a wireless syncing between the two.
And with me adding my P10 panels this year, with everything else I'm doing, I'm going to be right at around 170,000 channels this year.
Yeah, I'd probably be tempted to run it off 2 Pis if I had that many. Pat Delaney's also in here. I think I saw Pat. He does a lot of the plug-in support for the Pi, and he's a developer.
Oh, we need to get him to do some talking then.
When you do the master remotes, you can split up the sequencing, correct? So they're not all the same on all of them?
I think one of the improvements that are being made this year is that even though the file, let's say you create a 200,000 file or 200,000 channel file, which is probably going to be a pretty good size file coming out of xLights. But one of the enhancements that the captain's making this year is it'll actually know how many channels that particular, for instance, if you have one Pi that's running half the channels and another Pi that's running the other half the channels, that you'll be able to specify a range that, hey, this Pi's, only using actually he said several ranges. So you can say that this Pi is only using the first 100,000. So even though the 200,000 file is on the SD card, it's only going to actually read the channels that are needed for that particular whatever you have connected to that Pi. So you can put the whole file on there, or you could put separate files on there. Putting separate files on there is probably going to mean that you got different xLights files, like maybe the same sequence, but it actually has different models in one file than the other, because that you'd want to have a logical break probably is based on models and stuff like that. But he's making an enhancement to support a bigger file reading from it. He can read the data just right. It's just 200,000 channel limit is based on the fact that it's got to output that data over E131 using a USB based Ethernet device driver. So it's the USB 2.0 that becomes a limitation at that point, not so much reading the data from the card. So you can have the big file that's basically for half the show, has all the data, and the one Pi for the first half will read just the data that it needs, and the other Pi will read just the data that it needs. So you, at this time, don't need to split your show up into multiple F-sequence files unless you, are going over, an astronomical amount of channels, which I think is close to 500,000 channels.
Okay.
When you get to that,
I have lag right now. That's why I'm kind of splitting, and I was just wondering if I should split it up where, I have something that's 20,000 channels. I should put
20,000 channels is
only for that element.
How many channels do you have now? Are you running now?
15,000, and I think part of the problem with the lag is because it's spread out over 2 miles. And that was causing part of the lag, I believe. So I was going to try to place a couple of Pis out there and have those particular Pis only have the programming for that area that it's playing.
So the lag is what are you running master remotes right now?
No, I'm not. Last year I ran it on Lighterama, and I had all kinds of problems. That's why I'm kind of switching over.
So when you say you have lag, you're not basing you didn't have any lag on the FPP because you weren't using that. You were using lore. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, it's apples and oranges. We're not even talking about the same thing.
Yeah. But I just ensure that if I do split it up, if I could put everything on each Pi, or if I need to split it up.
I don't think that's the problem with the FPP. I ran my show last year was 50,000 channels, and I was sending 20-something thousand channels across the street to my neighbor. I wasn't actually sending it there. He was running it in remote mode. I was just syncing with a wireless sync packet, and our shows work perfectly in sync down to the frame. Yeah, a lot of the problems you experience with lore goes away when you go to the Pi player, or even if you go to xLights. They just have a problem with their scheduler playing right when you get into the high channel counts. I have a neighbor that's, or someone that's here in Colorado that is having similar issues with lore, and he's making the migration this year to the Pi player.
I'm switching over myself this year.
Yeah, well, and this is James. I'm a lore user as well, and I had a similar issue last year for the first time with lag and stuff. And what I found it out to be was that I had a color cosmic pixel tree as well as a regular pixel tree, and the color cosmic pixel tree was my culprit. So I had to go back in really quick and change all the other sequence, the pixel part to use intensity data instead. And once I did that, the lag went away. But yeah, it was definitely not a pretty sight.
I'm switching over from lore as well.
It's like a lore anonymous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I was using LOR, and I came up with my Halloween show to test all my pixels, and I noticed that at 15,000 channels, if I had a lot going on, my show would just almost lock up. And of course, that was with S3. Now, over in S4, I tried to load them sequences. Half the times they don't even want to open up in S4.
Well, and again, that's because the sequences are so huge.
Yep.
Because of all the data it writes per pixel and all of that, and because I ran into a lot of the same issues last year in trying to get stuff done, which is why I'm looking to convert this year as well.
Yeah.
And so forth. I mean, I already have my Pi in my house here that I need to put together and so forth, and so.
Well, when you guys talk about the cosmic pixel ribbons and all the cosmic stuff and the lower type of old pixel stuff, that's based on using the lower enhanced protocol or the lower protocol, right? So you're actually sending it E131. I'm not E131, but you're at the end of it, you're sending it like DMX or differential type of data, right? I mean, it doesn't actually run off E131, those cosmic ribbon controllers, those little boxes, right? They actually need to be connected to a lower protocol.
Yeah, I think they can run DMX mode as well, David.
Yeah, but either way, DMX, lower protocol, it's all pretty much a low amount of data. I think the key to probably get rid of a lot of that lag on the cosmic stuff is to cut the controller boxes off and run it from a real actual controller, either Picon or one of my controllers. Because I think those, the pixel bulbs, those are 2801 pixels, and the cosmic ribbons are basically 6803 ribbons, all of which could be ran off a regular controller that receives E131 as the source of data. That's probably the crux of your problem, is that the lower protocol is pretty laggy and it only can send so much data.
If you'll take your Lightorama stuff and change it, do not run it in Lightorama, run it in DMX mode, your problems will go away. I've got 30 controllers on the front of my house, and they worked like, I had to split them up. 2 years ago, I had to split them up. I had 4 different universes, or quote unquote 4 different universes, because I had CCRs on the roof, I had CCRs in the yard, I had many different controllers with a mini Christmas trees, four different colors on each one. So we had 32 trees the first year. The second year we had something like 64 trees. Each tree had 4 different colors on it. Every single one of them was AC channels. But so we had a lot of controllers mounted on the front of the house. There was no E131. It was all Lightorama. But I had to split everything up into different networks, and we had several different LOR dongles. The next year, we started trying to do xLights and kind of sort of migrated over to xLights, changed all the controllers over to DMX, which it's not like you go push a button or you change something on the wiring. All you have to do is it's in the programming, it's in the software. You just change it over to DMX, so it's not a big deal. Everything worked like perfect.
So there you go. When you have AC controllers, you switch it to DMX and you're good to go. I heard some people didn't like the shimmers in DMX mode and whatever, but I guess they do work. Richard,
the shimmers do work. If you are willing to sit there, I took everything from Lightorama. I worked with Lightorama for like 5 years, and then changed everything over to DMX. This last year, 2015, was my first year of xLights. Everything's running on DMX, including all my 30-something Lightorama controllers and all that crap. But anyway, excuse me. Everything worked great. The shimmers, I didn't do anything as far as I just imported it in as data layer and threw it out there and said, here you go. This channel goes to this channel goes to this, and it shimmers, it twinkles, it does whatever. Everything seemed to work pretty good, to the point of, unless you're going to get out there and sit there and look at it and go and compare the two of Lightorama shimmers like this, DMX shimmers like this, not going to see a difference. And I promise you, once you get to that many channels and stuff like that and everything, most of your people are not looking at that one exact spot. They're not sitting there going, last year this looked like this. This year it looks different. Oh no, this don't look good. So don't worry about it.
Nice.
You're your worst critic.
I think we all are our own worst critics.
I thought I saw Kevin show up.
I got to say, Rich is my critic. I show him what I do, and he says, "Hey, that's really good," or "That really sucks."
Yeah.
And we've tried some stuff different, back and forth, and this and that, and videotaping it and everything. And so far, you can't. Yes, I'm not going to deny. You can see a difference in the shimmer of DMX and the shimmer of Lightorama, because Lightorama does it hardware, DMX does it software, or maybe it's vice versa. I'm not real sure. I'm not going to try to get all electrical engineers all involved in all this, but and Twinkle is a lot easier to control. But you know, we are all our worst critics. I can go to any person that does this, that has done it for a couple of years, maybe even the first year, and say, look,